working for the IT Foundation for Education in Estonia. And I would say that, Cornelia, if all teachers would be like you, I would be out of a job, because our aim is to sort of help teachers become really well versed in using technology for educating students. And most of the things that you mentioned and are already doing is basically what is going on in Estonia as well. Just to give you a bit of context, Estonia is quite a small country. We only have just above 1 million people, 25,000 teachers, 220,000 students, and I work at HITSA, the IT Foundation for Education. At HITSA, we have about 70 employees that essentially got the task of canceling every other activity other than the crisis itself. This meant all international projects. Unfortunately, my reports are still waiting to be sent and all of that to UN. But our mandate by the ministry is everything to do with IT in education. So we train a lot of teachers. We manage networks, physical and sort of in between people. So we have a strong network of educational technologists and teachers and private companies. So an educational technologist is someone, I think over half of the schools in Estonia have an educational technologist, and they have been really essential in helping schools manage this. We've had them for years and years, but they are sort of the middlemen between the educational, the pedagogical side, and the IT side. And at HITSA, we also have a dedicated, really dedicated team. I didn't know this before the crisis, that everyone was willing to work through the weekends and through this crisis. I don't know how long or how far we are in the crisis, but it's good to be in such a devoted team. So just a bit of a timeline. The first case of the coronavirus was seen or identified on the 27th of February, and really we didn't take much heed from it, even when the first case was noticed in school. But we really reacted very strongly and critically from the 13th of March, when the emergency situation was declared. And from the 13th, we knew that from the 16th of March, all schools will transition to distance learning. Normal school work assignments will continue, but schools' physical buildings will be closed, so will offices. And since today, we have really new strict regulations that you can't be outside with more than 1-2 people in a group. And but I will get back to what we did on this date. The Friday the 13th was when the emergency situation was declared. So the 5 key things we did: we had a crisis meeting in the morning when the emergency situation was declared. We basically had 5 main things after having a chat with schools. We gathered in a crisis sort of conference room online, and then decided on 5 key things that we were going to tackle. So number 1, we decided to put up a call center for schools so they can call in and ask for advice. And then we will assign an educational technologist to help them out. We sent out an email to all schools. So on Friday morning, we learned that the schools will be closing. And by Sunday evening, we had a call center ready to go. So it took us 3 days to arrange that. And next, we decided to start providing essential training for platforms like Google Classroom, Microsoft 365, Teams, all communication related, and assignment, like giving out assignment type of programs we did trainings for. So on Friday we decided to do that, and on Saturday, believe it or not, we activated our network, and they essentially in 24 hours put together training programs that were still running, webinars and full-on platforms. It was really amazing to see. Usually it takes months. Now it took 24 hours, but we're still putting in new programs as well as we're talking to schools. We put together a distance learning information site that gathered together all the information that schools needed. Everything was in one place. Also, we put together an online conference for schools. This was an amazing production company that reached out to us. We reached out to a few before, and we managed to put together an online conference in essentially 2 days. And on Sunday, one day before the schools actually closed, we saw about 10,000 people join in, and it's been watched on YouTube for several thousand times as well, to essentially help parents to be ready when they were going to be now homeschooling. Number one tip, keep a schedule. So I'm not going to go into more detail than that. But and then we also managed to talk to all the main platforms in Estonia that were providing essential learning materials and sort of grading systems and all of those systems. Those were for free for the duration of the crisis after negotiations with them. So these are the sort of 5 key things that we did. And essentially, that's my 10 minutes, I think.